Hello everybody and welcome back to Cask and Points. I hope you all are having a lovely day. Today we are trying some good old Elijah Craig. Now we are trying the oldest Elijah Craig ever released under the Heaven Hill Distillery. This is Elijah Craig 23 year. So Elijah Craig 23 year stopped in 2019 and we haven't seen it since, and there's actually a very special thing about 2019. So back in 1996, Heaven Hill had a fire, and this fire ended up destroying a super majority of their stock, and so they were really in shambles for a few years. They ended up sourcing a lot of whiskey from a lot of different places like Bernheim, and ultimately were eventually able to really get back on their feet and continue today to be the second biggest distillery in America after Jack Daniel's. But that product of Elijah Craig 23, they decided to end it off as something known as pre-fire Heaven Hill. So before the fire, they had this really complex yeast that really grew throughout the many years that they were a distillery. The fire ended up destroying that yeast, and so they ended up not being able to have any yeast to really go back to. And the way yeast works is, it kind of grows over time and gets more and more characters. And so a distillery that's 50, 60, 70 years old is able to really have a really complex and interesting yeast strain in a way that brand new distilleries starting off with brand new yeast just don't really get that kind of thing. And so there is a great distinction in the Heaven Hill world called the pre-fire versus post-fire Heaven Hill, because after the fire destroyed that yeast, they ended up having to start all over, and they actually ended up getting yeast from Jim Beam, who they were really close with, ended up kind of just giving them some of their yeast. And so actually people say for a few years around that time, Heaven Hill and Jim Beam tasted exactly the same, so that's kind of interesting. But this product ended up staying pre-fire. They ran through the stock, and once it hit 2019 and what stock would have become post-fire Heaven Hill, they decided to just stop the brand. So I've never seen a 2020 Elijah Craig 23. To my understanding, this is a totally discontinued brand, and they did have like a 21 and a 22 year and stuff like that in the past, but today this is the oldest. This is 23 years old. It is a 2019 release, so it is technically pre-fire by a matter of about 3 or 4 months. So one of the last barrels that they ever released of it. But I wanted to try it here today with you guys and also tell a little bit about that history, because I love Heaven Hill. I love talking about its history, and a little bit of a sneak peek as to a huge video that is coming soon. But this is Elijah Craig barrel proof. So we're not having barrel proof today. These are 90 proof whiskeys, but barrel proof batch 1 would have started in 2013. And this was a true signature of amazing whiskey from Heaven Hill post-fire. This is some of the best whiskey that exists. And so we may be doing a review soon where we try a couple of those pirate batches, or maybe even all of them. You will see that soon. But anyways, let's get into this here. Let's try it. So we are going to start off with some good old Elijah Craig 18. This is obviously your regular shelfer. You can actually find this. It's not as hard to find this as it used to be. This used to be totally allocated, but nowadays this is really on a lot of shelves for around 150, 160 bucks. It's not super easy to find. It's easier to find. There's a really rich oak on it, some caramel on it, some vanilla on it. I've never found it to be particularly interesting. I'm not a big Elijah Craig 18 fan myself. Let's try it. Oh, it's interesting. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like, it has the rich oak, has a vanilla, has some spice in there. More spice than you'd expect. Definitely clearly rye in that mash bill. It's very good. I think it actually doesn't taste as old as you may think it does. Like, it has that rich oak, but 18 years is old, and I think because they proofed this down to 90, you don't end up with that really rich oak bomb that you can get on some things. I mean, there's still a ton of oak on this, but it's kind of lighter because of the fact that it's 90 proof. It's solid though. If you like your old aged oak, I mean, you can't really get that on that many products nowadays. For 150 bucks, pretty solid. I don't absolutely love this. I wouldn't recommend running out and buying this. But I've always liked Elijah Craig 18 a good bit more than Knob Creek 18. I think those two are kind of like a big competition between the two. If you guys want to see, I could do a review where I try both of those side to side. I have done that personally, and I definitely side with Elijah Craig 18. This is all. Let's take a second sip, and let's go on to Elijah Craig 23. It's good. It's good. It's just a little bit straightforward. Like, it's not giving you a robust flavor profile. It's giving you some old oak, some vanilla, some spice, not much else. I'm going to rate that a 7.6. Very sad for a $150 bottle, but I mean, if you really like the aged old oak, I get it. I'm not buying one. There's a reason why I don't own one, and there's a reason why I'm showing a totally different bottle here today. I love Elijah Craig. So this is actually a batch 1, so this is the first batch. But anyways, let's go on to Elijah Craig 23 year. Oh my god, that's a totally different whiskey. What? Okay, I mean, I'm not surprised it's different because, I mean, it is 5 years older and it's technically pre-fire. But yeah, we're looking at a distillation date here of 1996. And we're looking at a distillation date of this 18-year, probably about 2007. So yeah, about 10 years older. Oh my god, there's super rich vanilla on this. Lots of, honestly, dusty characteristics on this. Wow. Now, the secondary value on this bottle, about $800, $850, so it's not a cheap one to come by. I actually do see this quite often in Manhattan, some stores that have had these for 4, 5, 6 years. So I always thought about buying one, but I guess today we'll decide if I'm going to buy one. Not a cheap bottle, though, so I'm probably not, but super, super rich oak on this, and there's a really nice vanilla on that as well. The depth of the vanilla, I mean, that is like the most complex vanilla I've ever smelled. Like a vanilla custard on it, like almost a creme brulee on it. Like a vanilla creme brulee, that's really nice. Let's take a sip. Wow. That's really good. Oh, that's really good. It is a little bit lighter on the palate than I was hoping. It could just be because it was the first sip, so we'll take a second, third sip here. Oh, but that's great. I mean, that's a vanilla bomb if I've ever had one. So I will say the oak on it is different. I think the oak on this post-fire here, it's more citrusy. It's what you're used to on Elijah Craig. Like, their oak does have a kind of citrus element to it, vanilla element to it. It's good, but now the oak on this is different. It's really sweet, really vanilla forward. Could really be that difference in the yeast, because statistically these aren't that different. I mean, a whiskey aging from 13 to 18 years, obviously huge. 3 to 8 years, massive. 8 to 13 year, but 18 to 23 is actually not that big of a difference. There is only so much that the whiskey can age. But no, this is night and day. I mean, wow. This is already definitely in the 8s. Probably in the mid 8s, maybe even high 8s. I'm loving this pour. It's funny, so I believe you guys are seeing this after I posted the Takara Gold video, where I tried the 1992 Takara Gold. That would have been distilled in probably the mid-80s. We're looking at something here distilled in the mid-90s, and they really have those dusty characteristics to them, which is so fun. This wasn't really meant to be a dusty video. I just wanted to try really, really old Elijah Craig, because I've had the sample. Good buddy of mine named Ross sent me the sample. Thank you, Ross. I don't even think he watches the videos much, but appreciate it anyways. Let's take another sip here. Wow. That's good. That's good. That's very good. Very rich on the vanilla. I will say it's mostly just vanilla. Like, the oak is nice, and there's a ton of vanilla. It is a vanilla bomb. It is light on the proof, which is nice. Like, you're not getting a huge punch to it, but if you love vanilla and you just kind of want to sit and sip vanilla all day and call it whiskey, I mean, that is this pour. Super unique, super interesting here. It's not going to compete with that Takara Gold from 1992. Although statistically it should. It's a 23-year-old whiskey, but something about the figs and the dates that I got on that Takara Gold was just special. This, to me, a little bit more simple. I think it's still like rich in what it does. Like, it has the vanilla it's just a different level of vanilla. But beyond the vanilla, there isn't really much else going on. I would have liked more, that figs or dates or just a better vanilla structure on it, or maybe even some cherry could be so interesting on this. But it's a vanilla bomb. Let's take this last sip here and let's give it a rating. It's a nice pour. It's a really nice pour of whiskey. You could definitely tell that the oak is different. And I think that oak being different is that yeast being different, and it's just aging differently in the barrel. That is awesome. That is good old pre-fire Heaven Hill. We will be doing a review soon with more pre-fire Heaven Hill. I actually have Elijah Craig 12 from all different years. I have it back from 1988, which is one of the first years it released. And then I also have like a 93, I have like a 2013 store pick. We're gonna do a fun video on that soon. I have a lot of videos coming up soon, very exciting videos that I'm just so antsy to try with you guys. This was definitely one of them. I'm glad I got to try this here with you guys today. I'm gonna go ahead and rate that a solid 8.5. I don't think it's gonna get into the really high 8s because I think there's a certain level of complexity that I need to get there, but there is definitely depth on this pour. Definitely does that vanilla really, really well. Just so good here. That's a solid pour whiskey. It's not worth $800, but honestly, it's worth a couple $100. I think $300, sure. I'd pay $300 for that a couple times over, and I'd really enjoy it. So, yeah, I mean, MSRP on that was a little bit cheaper. So, cool. And so, I'm not sure what Elijah Craig 23 MSRP was. I'll put it on your screen now, but I'll let you know if I would have paid that. If it's like $300 or less, which I think it was, I'd definitely pay that. I don't think it was much more than that. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the review. This was a lot of fun. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.